Hello and welcome back to House to Home. I'm Nancy Baldwin with the Monroe County Building Association, and today my guest is Hugh Kremer with LED Source. Welcome back.
Thank you, Nancy.
Before the break, we were talking a lot about LED Source. I think there's a lot to learn here. My learning curve is huge right now.
Well, that's a big part of what we're doing is educating customers, because it's a brand new. It's the next wave of lighting, but it's brand new.
Absolutely. Well, one of my questions is, why would a business want to convert this? I mean, I know you said profitability, and obviously that's always right up there, but what are some of the other reasons why they would want to do this?
Yep. Profitability is the primary reason, because LEDs reduce the ongoing energy, the maintenance costs. So what it does, we can improve cash flow. And this is pretty important for a lot of businesses.
Especially in this economy.
Yep. And secondly, many, if not most, businesses are adopting environmentally responsible policies. Lighting is often called the low-hanging fruit of going green. All you have to do is make the investment and plug it in. The Department of Energy estimates that about 40% of the typical business's energy bill goes to lighting. So if we can cut that 40% by 80% or 50%, depending on what their current lighting is, it makes them more profitable.
Awesome. Now, when a customer comes to you, a business comes to you and says, we're thinking about doing this, do you go there or send someone there, obviously, and kind of give them an idea of what they need to do to convert? Because obviously, like if I had you come to my office, I wouldn't know what to, I have no clue what you would do or what I need to do or any of that.
Yes.
Do I need to change out my entire light system? What happens?
Well, we would do a lighting analysis where we would typically do a short interview to find out how long your lights are on every day. And ideally, we would get a drawing of your current lighting system or go around and count the lights. And then we add it all up. Awesome. And we find out what your current lighting is, what you're spending on lamp replacement. We find out what you're spending on maintenance, and we run the numbers just in a program we have for iPads and iPhones and called the Lampinator, which is a great tool and allows us to do a really nice printout for you on what your savings would be. And the numbers are easily verifiable, because all you got to do is plug the same numbers into a spreadsheet and you'll get the same numbers we're giving to you. But yeah, so we would do an analysis for you and then present it, and that would also include a return on investment. What a typical, is this going to take me a year to pay off pay back the difference? Is it going to be 2 years? Yeah. And then what's my total cost of ownership over 10 years.
Awesome. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to know. I mean, it was, how will I know if I'm paying for this? And that's perfect. Well, and the other question I have about this is, I've noticed with a lot of energy efficient bulbs, things like that I've had in my own home or even in my office, I don't like the way they light. And that's bad to say. I think they warm up. It takes a long time for it to get to full wattage. Are LEDs like this? What kind of light can I expect?
Well, Nancy, you're right. People have been putting up with the poor quality of light and the flicker from fluorescence and CFLs and the mercury merely to save on energy costs. They have been efficient. They were invented in the 1960s, but their day has come. LEDs are very flexible in the quality of light. You can get anything from a very nice warm glow that you're used to with the incandescence, let's say, in a lamp, an A19 bulb, which is the pear-shaped lamp that you typically just plug in. You can get that anywhere from a very nice warm glow to a crisp white light for reading. And most people have not seen the current high-quality LED lighting. When they do, they can't believe it. They typically think of LEDs as being a kind of a cool blue dim light, and that's because of usually where they bought it, or maybe they bought it 2 or 3 years ago when they just again the innovation has been very rapid. Philips has spent $5 billion in research and development in the last 2 years, and there's a lot of money going into making these things look great, and they do.
Well, and speaking of money, I've seen or heard that LEDs can be quite expensive. Tell me why, or tell me what I need to know to make that feel better for me.
Okay.
So because I want to do the right thing, I want to have great lighting, but I love this idea of not having, low maintenance. I don't have to worry about it for 12 years. That's awesome.
It is, and I think it's just a real mind shift for people. Let me go through some numbers here.
Awesome.
I'm going to read off of my sheet here, and I'll try to keep this as simple as possible. But the price of LEDs is higher. It's maybe 5 to 7 times higher than the alternatives, but that cost is justified, and that's because it's a great investment. The cost of ownership is far lower. Because of the energy savings, and they last so long. So here's an example. I'll use the difference between an incandescent or a halogen spotlight.
Okay.
Some people might know them as PAR lights, PAR. These are typical in restaurants, hotels, retail. A lot of these places have been reluctant to go with fluorescents or CFLs because of the poor quality of light. So they've stayed with the halogen or incandescent. So a halogen spotlight or PAR would cost about $8, a good one. An LED would cost about $59. Big difference.
Big difference.
Okay. The annual energy cost, if you're running your lights 12 hours a day, and we pay 8.6 cents per kilowatt hour here.
Right now?
Yep. Okay, so the annual cost for the halogen would be $28 annual energy cost for one bulb. The annual energy cost for the LED is $6.
Big savings.
Yeah, so already your annual energy cost for 1 year is about half of what you paid for the LED. So what about the lifespan of these things? The halogen lifespan is about 2,500 hours. The LED lifespan equivalent is about 45 to 50,000 hours. Okay, so what that means is you're replacing bulbs all the time. So your halogen annual bulb replacement is $15. LED annual bulb replacement is $0 for 12 years. Add it all up. Yeah, I mean, it's a simple. So really what you're paying in energy, bulb replacement for the halogen is $44 a year. What you're paying for the LED is $6 a year. So multiply this by maybe 80 to 100 bulbs in a smaller restaurant, and you're talking about real money.
Because that's an individual bulb. That's not. I mean, most restaurants don't have one spotlight.
Yep, 44. So again, we just have to keep coming back to the price versus cost. If your job is to look out longer than 18 months, if you think your business is going to be around for more than 18 months, your job is to look ahead, and it's really, it's a no-brainer for anyone looking beyond a year or so.
Yeah, you're right. It is. That's the only way to say it, because there are very few things that you can really do that can really increase your bottom line. This is really putting money right back in your pocket so quickly.
Yep.
So I think lots of people need to come and talk to you.
Yep, we're right there.
There are lots of businesses. So where are you located so they can come find you?
406 South Walnut, right across from the Chocolate Mousse.
You can go get an ice cream afterwards.
Yeah. We are by appointment Monday through Thursday. We are open to the public all day Friday. That's 8:30 to 4:30, and Saturday morning from 9 until noon. You mentioned the quality of the CFLs in your home. The LEDs are instant on and dimmable. So the instant on is a big deal for companies who are using things like occupancy sensors, because they come on to full brightness instantly. And unlike CFLs, they do not degrade quickly if you turn them on and off. What you see in fine print, or not at all on the CFL box or any fluorescent, is that the more you turn it on and off, the more quickly it burns out. Dimmable is big, not only for ambience, but dimming an 8-watt light can bring you down to a couple watts.
Right.
And I would like to say something about the mercury. LEDs do not contain mercury. Fluorescent lights do. That's how they work. Proponents of fluorescence say, look, one bulb doesn't contain much mercury, less than a thermometer. But we're not talking about one bulb. We're talking about millions, and a lot of people don't know that you're supposed to take them to hazmat to dispose of them. And so that's a huge advantage for a lot of people, is the no mercury.
Well, thank you for your information.
Thank you very much, Nancy.
This is Nancy Baldwin with the House to Home Show on WGCL.